Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and I'm just running out of words, really. Fantastic. Again, from Celtic. Welcome back. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. It would be much appreciated. Kilmarnock 1, Celtic 4. Another win for us. We remain 12 points clear at the top of the table. We have hit 100 league goals, and another dominant display today, which just takes us one step closer to being crowned official champions of Scotland. I mean, we effectively are the champions. 12 points clear with what, 6 games to play. It's inevitable, but one step closer, as I said. So it was good to get the job done today, and we got it done in what was, what looked to be spectacular fashion with the opening 25 minutes of the game. After that, we kind of showed some mercy to Kilmarnock, you could say, but you can't complain. No matter how you do it, you're scoring 4 goals in a game and you're winning, you're getting 3 points. There's really nothing to complain about. We'll touch on the positives, we'll touch on the negatives, but overall, you can't complain with what we've seen today, and it just keeps getting better and better. The chant piling on the agony, putting on the style, literally, it just captures the entire season. Game after game after game, we are putting opponents down as if they're nothing. We've never done anything like this before in this style. We went through a league campaign unbeaten. We got an invincible record, but we weren't as good as this. We weren't scoring goals for fun every week like this. I really don't know what to make of the rest of the league. Are we just that good, or are the rest of them that poor? To keep the language PG. I think I know what I'm aiming at. I think you can figure that out. But genuinely, we've never done this. We've never turned teams around the way we do now. It's unbelievable. I'm running out of superlatives. I don't know what to say nowadays, but I'm happy. Keep doing it, Celtic. Pardon me if I sound quite stuffy or such through this video. I'm actually a bit under the weather. I've got the cold, so it's not ideal. So if you're wondering, yeah, that's what's wrong. So let's go back to the start then, do what we always do. We'll go from the beginning to the end of the game, as you should do. And I mean, pretty much the beginning of the game and the opening stages of the game is the whole game, because it was a tale of two halves, wasn't it? We've had a lot of games like that this season where you could use the phrase tale of two halves. We've had games where we've been brilliant in the first half and not turned up in the second, and then vice versa. We've had games where we've started the game really slow and it's took us our time to get cracking. Today, we basically got the job done in 20 minutes and then thought, right, let's take a day off. That's how it felt. The second half was a bit boring. If anything, I might actually just start with the second half, because there's nothing to talk about. The second half didn't have many highlights, and the couple of moments that we did have were, we didn't take. Had a massive opportunity, a great cross from Rocco Vata. It was unlucky, it went wide. Awata had a good shot from range, it went wide just at the last moment, kind of curved. And aside from those 2 chances, second half was really boring. Nothing to talk about at all. We'll touch on a couple of the substitutions and the game plan and seeing some players that I didn't expect to see today. But aside from that, second half was pretty boring. So let's focus on the first. With the team selection today, I was pleasantly surprised to see the changes that were made. It was nice to see Kobayashi get a start. It was nice to see Haxa get a start. And obviously Awata was in there from the get-go again as well, which was nice. I didn't expect to see all of those changes made to the regular team. But obviously in our last visit to Rugby Park, we done the job just as convincingly. A 5-0 win last time, a 4-1 win this time. I don't know if that maybe came into Ange's mind when making these changes, but that's the thing. There isn't a need for, worry or such when we make changes, because they're all equally strong players. Haxa coming in for Jota, brilliant change to make. Awata coming in for Moy, brilliant. Kobayashi for Carter Vickers, brilliant. It's always nice seeing these changes. It actually offers a kind of element of surprise, which I like. So it was nice to see them in from the start. And just touching on those individuals, I feel like certainly 2 of them anyway made a very good case for starting more games in the near future. I think that Awata and Kobayashi, the Japanese duo, were absolutely brilliant. They've got such an eye for a pass. One is a centre-back, one is a deep centre defensive midfielder. They've both got such great vision shared between them, and it makes the rest of the team even better. You know, you can do more creatively off the ball, and you can be more ambitious because you know you've got two players behind you far up the park who can pick out passes, who can do a little bit more with the ball. Kobayashi, I thought, was good at driving with it. I thought he was great with passing it, and he just looked really assured for the very little minutes that he's had so far in a Celtic shirt. He looked natural today. He looked as though he'd played a lot of football. And Iwata, the exact same for him. I thought that he was maybe a strong case for the man of the match today, and a strong case for being one of the best in the park. I just thought, once again, he looks like he's been at the club a very long time, and that's been one of the really good positives and one of the great things that's came along with every Ange signing. I feel like none of them have really struggled to get going. I don't feel like any major signings have came in and kind of struggled to find their way into this team. Everybody of significance has came in and provided something from day one that makes them look as though they fit in this team and have been here such a long time, and that goes for Iwata. I thought he ran it today. He was like a general in the midfield. I really enjoyed seeing him in there, and I just like what he brings in terms of, and I've said this, I've banged this drum all the time, so it's not a fresh point. I keep saying it, and if you watch me enough, you'll know what I'm going to say probably. But I just love how he allows McGregor to move up. McGregor has done an amazing job in that role he plays, in that kind of centre defensive midfield role. He's been absolutely fantastic. You can't fault him. But I just love having McGregor further up the park. I think he's a better player as he moves up the park. I think he's got so many attacking qualities that he hasn't really been able to show off in a long time because he has been sitting back. And as I said, he's done a great job at that. But I like what Iwata brings in terms of allowing McGregor to move up again. So 42 were brilliant. Haxa, quiet today. And I think most of that probably came down to the fact he was on the right-hand side for a large amount of the game. He kept looking up and he was on the right while Maida was on the left, and I think that maybe took a wee bit out of his game, but he was probably quieter than I would have expected him to be, and that I would have liked him to be. But yeah, he still put in a shift, and that's everybody in the first half put in a great shift, didn't they? As I said, 27 minutes, we were 4-0 up. That's unbelievable. That is next level shit. Part of me thinks that today could have been put down to how bad Kilmarnock were, because you look at someone like Fraser Murray, for example, who had an absolute stinker today, and he wasn't the only one, but it was errors in their game which we capitalised on, and we scored and we made chances from. And in the first 27 minutes, we rattled Kilmarnock. We made them look really nervous, really worried, and we were just taking advantage of that. We were properly cutthroat stuff from us today. We were going right for the jugular, and that's at this level you can't afford to make these mistakes. For example, the clearance that Fraser Murray attempts, and for the fourth goal, is it the third or fourth? Can't remember, but leading to that, one of O'Reilly's. You can't get away with that at this level. It's a terrible effort at a clearance. It's half arsed, and we take advantage of that, and these are the kind of things that separate Celtic and the rest of the league at the minute, because we simply don't make these mistakes, whereas everybody seems to be doing that. And then obviously it creates this narrative, and you see articles come through the week and blah blah blah, Celtic this, Celtic that, because nobody can take losing to us. But it's just what we do. We're in this industry to win games, and it's a results based industry, and Celtic just keep winning and getting positive results. But as for the rest of the team in the first half, they were just so good. They were really working well together with these changes. Kyogo, I need to touch on him for a moment, because that first goal from Kyogo is nothing short of world class. Honestly, my jaw sort of dropped as he done what he done. The move and the way he cuts it back and just holds it up and then takes his moment and he shoots. Honestly, he amazes me every week, because he does things that I genuinely don't believe he can do. And this sounds daft, and you're going to laugh at me, right? Sometimes in my head, right, just when in real time, I know how good he is, this is not what I'm saying, but sometimes when I see him go through and goal, I get this fear. I don't know why, it's like I doubt him. And I don't know why I doubt him, I should never doubt him, but sometimes I see him go through and it's like, this is going to be too difficult for him, he's not that good in real time. And then he does something that he surprises me every week. We've got to this point now where we keep bringing up this conversation about the best since Larsson, and the people keep asking me, Ryan, is he the best since Larsson? And I keep saying, wait, because I'll talk about it in the summer. But, spoiler alert, he's the best since fucking Larsson. Yes, he's unbloody believable. We are so lucky to have a player like him, and just moments like that today, albeit a game against Kilmarnock in the league where, things are pretty much wrapped up. It's not all that important for us. They're doing things like that. Oh, I lack words for talking about this team and certain individuals because they're that good. Maida as well, his goal, the header, brilliant. The two of them are just bloody lovely. And Kyogo obviously he missed the penalty, which was a shame a little bit later in the game. It would have been nice for us to have a fifth goal and the penalty being the opportunity for that. But he just keeps smiling, doesn't he? Like, honestly, my mate said in the chat today, like, you know, somebody could murder his whole family and I think he'd smile. Honestly, just I love him to bits. And I was annoyed that he missed the penalty, obviously, but he makes up for it in everything else that he does in the game, and everything that he done today, just brilliant, and he deserves so much credit, Kyogo. A nice early one for him today as we brought on in the second half, who I did like in the second half, albeit the service wasn't quite there for him. Matt O'Reilly was brilliant, back onto his best, I think. 2 goals today. That's the confidence I think he needs, and it's good because it rests all these stupid conversations that he's not good enough. I've seen too many clowns giving it that O'Reilly's class. O'Reilly's got to play for a Premier League side. It's inevitable. He's that good. He's got to play in the Danish national team for Pete's sake. And people, it's not that great. It's fair enough. He's not good enough. Nonsense. He's got what, the most assists in the league, bagged 2 today. Brilliant player, unbelievable player. Yeah, he went through a patch of form which probably wasn't his best and he had to improve on, but performances like that today prove that there's an absolute player in there, and I'm hoping that unlocks the best out of him. But I mean that's basically it for the first half, isn't it? In the game, really, it was a shame to concede. It was a silly goal to concede. It was just a kind of couple of moments of stupidity all wrapping into one. But listen, 3 goal clear of a Kilmarnock 4-1 win. I can't complain. Ange Postecoglou after the game said our first half was outstanding, probably as well as we've played all year. Second half we got a bit sloppy and we never got into any rhythm overall. Knowing the challenge here today, I'm really pleased. O'Reilly has been outstanding all year. Good for him to get a couple of goals. Our football was brilliant. Everyone was kind of in sync. Our finishing composure, apart from the penalty, was excellent. Disappointing for Kyogo that he couldn't get his goal from the penalty, but I'm sure more will come. So there's the big man's thoughts. There's all my thoughts as well, encapsulated. That is not a word. Like and subscribe. I'm going to head off. Goodbye. We'll be back all week. Yes. Cheerio.